Hi, I'm Chad. You're watching Squarebody Stuff. Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're gonna actually be moving Squeaky out of the shop and not be working on Squeaky this time. Pretty much got him ready for some track time. I think this is Monday for me. Not really sure when this video is going to come out or when you're going to be watching this video. I mean, maybe 5 years down the road you're watching this video. But anyhow, going to be moving Squeaky out, and we're going to be tearing apart that guy. I think I'm pointing at it. I can't hardly see without my glasses on this little screen. Yeah, there's a big block sitting right there on the end. We're going to be tearing that thing down. Alright, so this guy is a 454 that I bought from a guy at work. I've got a video of it. I'll try to put the video link in the corner. Bought it used. Don't know a whole lot about it. It does turn over as far as cranking over and all that stuff. It's not locked up. But other than that, I don't know anything about it. We're going to tear it down, see what it needs, because I'm not going to be using these heads. So we're going to at least take them off and check the cylinders out. Probably check the bearings in the bottom end. I want to make sure this is going to be a good one for street use. We're going to be putting it in Creampuff. And I'll show you Creampuff if you're not familiar with him. I'll show you him in a minute and what he's got going on underneath the hood of him for right now. But I want to make sure this is a good solid street engine. I've got some parts right down here. Kind of buried. There's a good Lunati camshaft. Cam lifter kit there. I can't remember the specs on it right off the top of my head. I've got some aluminum heads sitting right there that I'm going to go through, probably do a little bit of port work on them. I've also got well, it's a Speedmaster brand. Now, I know Speedmaster's not the best name right now. They've got some stuff going on, but I bought this intake probably 4 or 5 years, probably 4 years ago. To put on my crew cab, the 454, 468 that's in my crew cab, but I never got around to it. Intake is still sitting there on the wall, brand new, needs to be cleaned up, but we're putting that intake on there. It's a Performer RPM air gap copy from Speedmaster. I've got a few other goodies I might be putting in there. I got some roller rockers, a few other things, but we need to make sure that the short block is in good condition. I'm hoping I could do a down and dirty, easy kind of a cleanup, freshen up on this thing and not have to do a full rebuild. But we won't know until we tear it down. Now, tearing down an engine is one of the fun parts for me because a little forensic science, kind of get to see what the engine looks like inside. I thought about just going ahead and setting it up on the run stand, seeing if it'll run, but I might as well just tear into it because I'm going to take the heads off anyways, like I said. But let me show you what truck it's going in if you're not familiar, if you're new to the channel. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up. And there's even a join button down there. You can hit that join button. And for as little as 99 cents a month, you can become a member of this channel and get first glance at or first view of any videos I put out, because I usually put them out. Sometimes I get them out early. You can view them before anybody else. There's a few other perks to it, so go check that out. But this is old Creampuff, if you're not familiar with him. This guy has been my daily driver for the last 3 or 4 years. 79 C10. Not a whole lot of special going on about him. He's got his fair amount of rust and patina, but I love this truck. It drives great. Right now it's got a 350 underneath the hood, turbo 400 transmission, and 276 gears in the rear. And I've also got the 33 1250s on the back. You know, some of you might wonder why I'm running the big tires. Well, as a kid growing up, this is the way my dad and my grandpa and a few others ran their trucks back in the 80s. They ran the bigger tires. And that's just kind of what I want to set this truck up. I wanted to put this truck kind of back to what I remember of the square bodies back in the 80s. Just kind of just a throwback. So that's what I've done with this truck. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, because I enjoy this truck. The bumper, kind of a cool story on this bumper is this is not the original bumper. This bumper is actually off my rock crawler. If you're not familiar with that, maybe I'll show you a little clip of it real quick. But it's a 79 K5 Blazer. It's a full-on rock crawler now, kind of tore down. But that's the original bumper off of it. This truck's got a few parts here and there off of some of the other trucks I've had through the years. Of course, the interior is pretty much back what you would see back in the 80s. Got the saddle blanket seat cover. Got the good old wrap steering wheel cover, which this is a new old stock deal I got off of eBay. It's got a old school tack. This was actually something I got off of eBay also. It was a Napa brand. I'm not sure actually who made it for Napa, but the box was like an 80s 90s box with Napa on it. And it's also got the Pioneer 8-track AM FM stereo that still works. I do have some 8-track tapes down here that I play every once in a while. Now it doesn't play real good, but it plays a little bit. It's just one of them little cool little things. Oh, and another special deal. This truck's got the old cowboy hat rack, and I've got this period correct Western hat that I hang up in there, and I wear it every once in a while. Just because this is what I remember of the trucks back in the 80s. So nothing real special underneath the hood of old Creampuff here. Just your basic 350. I do have an Edelbrock Perform RPM intake on it. Comp cams, 270 high energy cam, and some headers. That's about all there is. Real basic stuff. A Holley 600 CFM, just your old standard 1850 vacuum secondary Holley. It does have a later model air cleaner on it, and that is actually ram air because the baffle on the front of this, I don't know if you can see through the grill, but the baffle's been cut off, so it actually gets all the fresh air going up to here because the heat riser baffle, I've blocked it off to where it's not blocking this, so it gets ram air all the time. A few little goodies on this thing, and electric fans. Nothing real special. It gets me around. It's not a super powerhouse or nothing like that, but it doesn't do too bad. With the gears and the tires, it cruises around a little over 2,000 RPM down the highway on the 4-lane, going 70 miles an hour, keeping up with traffic. So it'll do really good with the big block in here. But before we get into tearing that 454 down, I want to remind you guys we have one of the biggest truck only drag race events coming up May 31st, June 1st, in Newport, Arkansas, at Newport Raceway. This is an event that we've been planning for a while now. It was supposed to be going on this last weekend, but it got rained out, so we had to make a makeup date. So it'll be at the end of May, 1st of June. If you guys have a truck, it doesn't matter if it's a daily driver or if it's a wannabe race truck like Squeaky, or if you've got an outlaw truck, we've got a class for about everybody. Now these are the trophies I made up. I built these trophies myself and pretty proud of them. I hope people enjoy them. We've got mini street, full-size street, stick shift, small tire, 28-10-5, small tire, and the outlaw. And for more information on it, you can go to Facebook. We've got a Facebook group page, public page on there, Tailgate Throwdown. Go check it out. We've got the rules pinned to the top if you want to know where you fit in. We've tried to make the classes to where everybody has a place to go. It doesn't matter what you have. Even if you have an old farm truck or just your daily driver like Creampuff out there, we've got a place for you to go. Or even if you don't have a truck or your truck isn't ready yet, come down and visit, spectate. We want to fill the stands up. We want to try to put on a good show for everybody. So check it out. The Tailgate Throwdown, Newport Raceway, Newport, Arkansas. All right, so the casting number 14015445, that comes back to a 78 to 90 454 2 or 4 bolt main. All right, so up front here we've got the suffix code. Of course, the other numbers are the T for Tonawanda 0530. That's the date code that it was actually made. That would be the 5th month, 30th day of whatever year it was. But that's where we find out that FBD is for an 84. 84 truck, 454 manual transmission, 4-barrel, 230 horse. So that's what this originally was, out of an 84 Chevy truck, which similar to what I've got. I've got an 84 crew cab out there. But then again, I don't know if this thing's been rebuilt before. I don't know anything about the internals of this engine, so that's what we're going to find out right now. Okay, I don't even remember if this thing's got any oil in it. Yeah, it's actually right at the full mark and actually looks pretty clean. This carb and air cleaner were just sitting on there for cosmetic purposes, sitting on the side of the shop, kept things out of there. Now when I got this engine, every hole in it had something plugging it. The exhaust ports still got the plugs in it. So I'm hoping that it's in really good shape on the inside. Now I have had the valve covers off, but I can't remember the casting number on the heads. But let's take them off real quick, see what the heads are. One of the things is I'm super excited about these Moroso old school chrome valve covers. Now these won't be going back on this engine whenever I put it in Creampuff, unless the, well, I don't know if the roller rockers will clear factory valve covers. I may put some spacers on there. But I really like to run factory style valve covers and run the AC compressor and all that. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But either way, I've still got some cool old school Moroso valve covers. Get this intake up here. I'll put the valve covers back on and blow all this crap out. I should have done that earlier, but oh well. Let's throw them back on there and I'll blow all this crud out of there. I still got one more bolt to go. Let me get this fitting out of there. Something. Get that last bolt out. Like I said before, I'm not going to reuse these cylinder heads, but they're the 236 peanut ports. Pretty common for the mid to late 80s truck engines. Now, there's nothing wrong with these heads. These heads have been known to support anywhere up to about 500 horsepower. But I do have a good set of aluminum heads. They're nothing special. They're some old school pro comps, I think. I got them used, but they're fairly low mileage on them. They'll be a whole lot better than these things, especially saving some weight. Yeah, so nothing special about the heads. Let's go ahead and get the valve train out of here, get the heads off. From what I can see, the camshaft looks pretty good, but I've got another camshaft, so I'm not worried about it. But who knows, this camshaft may be something special. I may pull it out, it may be bigger than what I've got. I don't know. I'm just going to take a quick check with my calipers, see what the bore is. I think it's probably standard bore because there's nothing on the pistons. Yeah, they're standard bore, 425. They got a little bit of a ridge on them, not bad. I'll do a little further inspection and decide later what I'm going to do with the whole thing. I might just dingle ball hone it, put a fresh set of rings in it, but I might just go ahead and do a full rebuild on this. I'm just not real sure yet. We'll check deeper into that once we get it completely tore down. Let me give you a little closer gander at these cylinder walls. Number 2, 4. Number 4's got a little bit of a scratch in it. It's one of those things where if I was just to change the intake on this engine and run it, probably would have never noticed anything. It's probably going to run great, but now that I see it, I think we're going to have this thing machined because I want to put it in Creampuff and I want to have a good fresh street engine that we can just run for a long time in it. As you can see there on the bottom side, there's a little bit of a scratch. I'm trying to hold the light and the camera, but right there's a little scratch. It's not super deep. That one's got a little bit of score on it. Number 2 does. Not sure about number 4. Number 8 looks fairly decent. These look pretty good so far. And number 1's not too bad. And number 6 ain't too bad. I got the timing cover off and the timing chain. It's a little loose. Let's check this out. Got a little slack in it, and it's still got the nylon or plastic, whatever you want to call it, sprocket on it. So more than likely it's gonna be the stock camshaft. So we'll get that off there, get these lifters out of here, get this cam out. Pretty sure it's gonna be stock cam, nothing special, but you never know. There's absolutely nothing special about that camshaft. All the lobes look pretty good, so I don't think there's going to be any trash in the bottom end. So let's get this thing rolled over and check out some of the bearings. I'm going to have to get that adapter out of the way. On the rods, all of the rods are marked with numbers. Now they don't do that from the factory that I know of. I've never seen that on a factory fresh engine. So it appears that this has probably been into before. So, you know, they may just put a factory type timing chain set in it with the factory nylon type timing gear. I don't know. Kind of curious to see what kind of bearings we got. If we got undersized bearings, we'll know for sure that it's been into before, but yeah, still not really sure where I'm going to go with this. I do have some aftermarket H-beam rods, a couple sets of H-beam rods. We can come up with a set of decent pop-up pistons, maybe. I've got the two crankshafts in those bags right there. One of them is an LS6, LS7 forged crankshaft. The other is a standard type forged crankshaft out of like a 1-ton. Now they're a little bit different material, but they're both steel cranks in there. That crankshaft that's not bagged up, I think it's a factory cast crank like would be in this thing. That number 8 looks pretty good too. Not seeing any markings of an undersize. So I'm not real sure if this thing has ever been, you know, if they went into it, they put standard stuff back into it. I don't know. So I want to check at least 1, 3, and 5 main bearings. See what they look like. I mean, it's already looking like we're going to take this thing all the way down anyway, so might as well see what they look like. Yeah, number 1 don't look too bad. Number 3, yeah, it's got a little wear on it. That one don't look too bad. It's got a little bit, I mean, for what it is, it don't look too bad. I'm kind of wishing I wouldn't have even tore into it and just ran it, but then again, this rear main seal, it needs to be replaced. It's a little, yeah, it's pretty crusty. So yeah, I don't know. Not sure what I'm going to do still yet. I may leave it up to you guys. So here's what I do know. We're already this far. I already know I'm going to take it all the way apart. So let's just get that done. So I'm gonna cue up some cheesy background music, speed this thing up, I'm gonna rip this thing apart. All right, we got the crankshaft out. We got everything laid out. I mean, this engine could go either way. It could be just put fresh rings, bearings, dingle ball hone it, put it back together. It would probably run great for a long time. Or we could do it right and have everything machined. Get some new pistons. I've already got some rods, some aftermarket rods. And we could even put one of those steel crankshafts in there. Probably go with the truck RV steel forged crankshaft. I don't know if I want to use the LS7 one or LS6 crankshaft in this build. I think I want to save it for something else. Yeah, we could build a pretty nice, stout, well-built engine to go into Creampuff that's going to last a while with new parts, or we can build pretty much the same thing with the old parts. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below what you guys would do in this situation. It could go either way for me. Now, to do it right, yes, we need to machine it, everything else. But the cylinders don't have that much wear in them. The crankshaft looks pretty good. It may just need a little touch up. Now the pistons, not too shabby. They can be reused. At least by eyeball inspection, pretty much all this is reusable just the way it is. If you want to do a real budget rebuild, but you really need to put some micrometers and all that stuff to this to see where it's really at. But like I said, it would probably run for a long time without any issues. Just re-ringing it, dingle ball hone it, put some bearings in it, new rings, and it would probably be okay. But I think I know what I want to do. I want to hear what you guys want. So that's where we're going to end this project off for right now. This will be part 1. I'm not sure when we're going to get to part 2, but I wanted to get started on this engine. I've been wanting to get started on this for a long time, but you know, Squeaky always takes up a lot of my time. But he's pretty much ready to go right now. I've got a few other things to do to him, but nothing major. I don't have the parts that I want to do it to him. So anyways, that'll be another video. We will decide what we're going to do with this in a later video and do some cleanup and getting this thing ready to rebuild one way or the other. And it'll be kind of left up to you guys. But before I end this off, I want to remind you guys to check out my merchandise website where you get these fancy Squarebody Stuff hats. We've got these patches. They're iron-on. I know these are looking a little rough, but these have been on there for quite a while. And I didn't sew them on. They were just kind of ironed on. They work really well. And we've also got t-shirts. We've got stickers, keychains, and we might end up having some license plates if you guys request those. So go check that out at squarebodystuff.shop. Find you some merchandise. It would help us out. I appreciate it. So now I think I'm going to end this off. So till next time, y'all keep your square bodies rolling. We'll catch you later.